Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices. We'll cover the DAX, the FTSE and the AEX, and starting with the DAX here on the weekly chart here. We've got primary wave 4 here, and then we're looking for primary wave 5 up here of cycle wave 5. So quite a serious top all in all. Our current structure is wave 1 of intermediate degree, wave 2 here, and then we've got 5 waves up here for intermediate wave 3, and then 4, then 5. Now this DAX here and some of the other markets, but not all of them, the AEX had a top here, and FTSE had a top here. The S&P 500, DAX, Nasdaq, they all had Nasdaq had tops here, but the DAX here has had this sort of unusual pattern here where from this low of wave 4 here, we've got a 5-wave structure to this point here. So we've looked at this. It was like the DAX was in front of most of the other markets. So we're looking at this as the top here and looking at this as an A and a B and a C here for wave 4 here. So it is possible for this to move straight up from here, okay? But if the other US markets have got this wave 3 here sitting here, and they have 5 waves down here, then it's going to make for a more complicated correction, because the US markets have got to go down here, back up here in 3 waves, and then down here for their wave 4. But you know this anyway. So we've got this slight dilemma here. So it's possible for the markets to go, the DAX to go straight up here, but it's also possible for them to have a rally in line with the US markets and some of the other European markets, and then have a wave 4 back down here again. So there's 2 things that can occur here, so we need to be mindful of them. So what we're going to do, if we go to the daily chart here, I've rearranged this a little bit. In that I've lined it up with the US markets, and look, and we'll stay with it. Doesn't really matter. There's 2 counts. Both are going to play out. There's going to be a point where one's going to override the other, and we know exactly where that's going to be, and we'll just come up with a little strategy to handle that. But as it stands at the moment, it is possible to have this wave, this blue wave 4 here. I've graded out, so it's an alternative count here. So an A and a B and a C for this particular wave 4, and we go straight up from here. Otherwise, we'll be looking for this here as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave coming up into this space here, and then folding down from that point. Like I said, it's possible to go up from that point, but we just need to be a little bit mindful in this area here, and we'll be able to figure it out within a session. So that's where we are. So I thought that I would just relabel this in terms of what's happening in the US market, US indices, and also the FTSE, and also the AEX actually as well. So what we're going to be looking for here is having wave 4 over here, but it doesn't really matter if this one is or this one here. It does matter, of course. It matters especially with our stock trading, our CFD stock trading, because we like to hold them a little bit longer. I mean, this sort of trading here on the indices it can be longer term trading, of course, but most people use it for sort of day trading. So yeah, look, let's just drill in a little bit, but the bottom line is that from, well, this actual low here, if I need to, it's actually under that low and under that one there, so I'll just leave that there. But yeah, let's go to the 4-hour chart, and I've laid it out as the A wave low here. On this low, we're looking for a B wave up here and then a C wave down here, but like I mentioned, it could certainly move up from here as well. So I'll just save that. 4-hour chart. Have I relabeled this? Yeah, so not that this is going to tell us much here at this stage, but sometimes it's good to go through them. So from in fact, let me just double check that here again. There's a couple of things that, I mean, in most cases you take the Fibonacci extensions and retracements rather from the highs and the lows here, but this is the wave 3 top and not this low here, it's this low here. So I'm going to look at it like this here, which brings us to this 12, 9, 9, 15, 20 there in this area here. So we're not far off, but I will just drop that down if I can a little bit. Don't need that. So just down a tad there. So that's how we get that area there. But the other thing is too is that the A wave here, the A wave and the C wave here normally have some sort of relationship in them as well. So that being the case, we can just grab that here. That's about the length of that there. So it's on a bit of an angle, but we'll put that on angle too. So it may only come back up to this particular wave 4 of 1 less degree here. So at the 12,650 area here. So that's something that we need to look at. So we don't know how far this is going to extend up. What we are looking for here, though, is from wave B to wave C here. However long that is, we're looking for 5 waves in that area. Okay, so I think that this top here would be probably a better target area than this one here, but it may make a liar out of me and retest the 13,000 here as well, which is a major trading level. So that's on the case as well. So our job is just to count the structure to the upside here as the waves unfold, the 5 waves. Once that's finished, then we'll look for 5 waves down to the what I call the medium level here for the trading levels, the 11,500. So let's just go into the hourly chart now. And for the hourly chart here, just remembering that, just copy that text here, put that here, grey that out here, close it off there, just as an alternative, because that would make, if that's wave 4 here, then that would make that wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then wave 3 here. If this is going to be a wave 3 here rather than a wave C, then it's going to be really powerful, right? But if it's a wave C, then it's going to be on more of an angle than wave A here. So wave A is quite sharp coming up. So wave C here would struggle a little bit as such. So we could probably see it on more of an angle over here like this. Okay, so let's just see where we are here. So we're looking at this wave B here. It may retest the 13,000. I don't know just yet. Let's just see how it travels. But as it stands at the moment, it does appear that wave B low is in place and wave C can be moving up here. So you need to start looking for entries here and keeping the stop under the current low at the moment. But everybody's got different risk tolerance and so on, and they've got stops at different places. But we'll have a look at this on the tick chart in a moment. But just to point out, from wave A here to wave B, we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. That will probably come back up to these tops here. The market will probably see wave 1 here coming back for wave 2, wave 3 hitting the 500, wave 4 reacting here, and then wave 5 pushing up into this space here. So it may only get to there, do you know what I mean, before we start seeing this 1, 2, and 3 to the downside here. So I don't know that yet, but that's just an educated guess at this stage. Put that over there. We'll save that. We'll go into the tick chart. We'll just have a look at this low here, because I think we've got an entry here for this. Right, so wave C of B here. So if I can borrow a few things here. This will be the same for the other markets as well. Just bear with me for a second here. sure why it doubles up like that for. Yeah, I don't know why it's sure it's doubling up like that. We don't need that. Maybe it's got two there already. That's the problem. Sorry about that. Okay, we don't need those guys. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I was just double clicking them. So, wave 1 here, copy that, have wave 2 here. And we'll be looking for an A and a B and a C in here. Just give these be something like this. So we've got the clear wave 1 here, because you can see here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then wave 2 here as a retest on the 12.2 here. So technically just hindsight's okay, you learn. So the entry level for this would have been in here for this here, because we had 5 waves here, the retest, and then up again. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave here, so that's correct. Still one hide behind there. That's the third wave here. The fourth wave could be a little bit tricky. I'm just trying to see the best. This is on the close here, so it's a bit well, one thing that we could look at is that because the extension's in wave 3 here, this has got all overlapping wave structures. I could see that there's a couple of ways, different ways I could count this, but the top may be in place already. So we can see that this is roughly the same. Grab that or move that from there to there. So we would only expect, I would only expect this to come up to, I know that was also a little bit high as well. So we're pretty much there already, really. There may be another little push up here, I don't know, but not a good idea to go long just yet, because what will happen, I can't draw on the side of the tick chart here, but what we could do is we could grab this here and just take that up to 12.8 here, but you might need to adjust that. If that drops back down into this space here, then that top is in play here, okay? But I don't know that yet, because this is too messy in here. I can count, I can see how I can count it, and it could actually be finished. I'll show you how it can count it. So up for 1 here, back for 2 here, then up for 3 here, then an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for this 5th wave here. There's problems with that because wave 4 overlaps wave 1 here, and so on and so on. So that is a bit of a problem, so I'll just clear that out. But at the same time, if that is correct, then we'll take that from that top here, and I can put in the little target area here. So that would be our target area here. So that would pretty much be the buying opportunity there. The other buying opportunity, let's just say, I can't bring this thing across here, but let's just, the other one would be taking this high out here now. So if you miss everything, don't miss this high. I can't even drag it across here, but you get the idea. So here on the trading levels, while we're here, we've got 200 and 300 here. So the 300, or the number 3 here, is the top of group 1 here. So that's really important. But here we've got 10, 20, and 30 for group 1. That's all of group 1. That's 50, the midpoint here. And then we've got 80 here, which is the next one. Then we've got 72. And when you get 72 with either 277 or 2272 here, it carries a lot more weight. And the 65. So what we can do here is put this one here into that. So yeah, this. It doesn't have to come all the way down to this 50-60% retracement level here. It may just come down and bounce off top of group 1 here, so be mindful of that, but you need to allow for it to do that. So we're looking for some type of correction in here and then back up, so hopefully you'll get a better I'm just going to move that there. I'm just going to get rid of it. You kind of know what to do now anyway. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and some dodgy looking 5th wave here, and it may suck me in and go a little bit higher or whatever, but it looks like it's making its little move here. So yeah, you can get the good news is that this low here is wave B, and but the main point here, because we got 5 waves here, right? Then after a correction, we're going to get another 5 going up. So that's the one that you want. So your job would be to work out the A, the B, and the C wave coming down through here. So I'll just save that. And this little pattern here will be the same as the FTSE and the AEX as well. So for the AEX here, we've got, this is just an hourly chart. Sorry about that. Here, and we're looking for it to move up. We've got a few different target areas here, but I think that one of the things that we could look at is getting the distance from here to here, moving that and putting it on there. So this wave 4 here is quite a serious contender there, but we're looking, if you want to do a little trade up here, then the entry point is like we looked at with the DAX here, so pretty much keeping the stop under this particular low here. And the FTSE will be the same as well. So it hasn't really pulled back for its wave B here, but it has. We can put the wave B here. It's rather small, but just be mindful that from here to here, that top there, this still has the possibility of pulling back into this space here. Not that it has to, but that's what it could do here. So once again, let's just go in. I just want to have a look on the cash market here first. Let's just see if I can get. I like comparing the cash market and the count on these here. So okay, so basically we should see a move up. We should see a move up. So what we could do, this 72 number here is really important. Well, I'll call it 72, but it's just geometry stuff. So, but basically the 200 here, if that becomes a really nice support, then you can move in on that. Let's just have a look on the tick chart and see how that's sitting at the moment. So I had that in orange, so we can do that in orange, close that. So what we could say here is we can say here that the 7,200 is resistance at the moment, isn't it? I mean, it failed here, it tried to do it here, it couldn't stay above there, and but now it's having another go here. Okay, so like the DAX that we looked at, we would really want that as visually you would want to see that as support. So what is support? If I can't draw over on this side, so I have to draw over this side, so I'll come over here. So if this pushes up, let's just say it pushes up through here, then it's going to come back and test it. Okay, so it's that testing, and it'll probably do it in 3 waves here. So that's what you'd be looking for. Okay, that retest. So getting the breakout is not always the right thing to do as such. So we were thinking the same as the DAX here in terms of wave 1 and wave 2 here, and just looking at wave 3 here. I mean, I can see this as wave 3 here, but I've got a little extra wave in here, 1 and 2. I know that would have to be part of that. So that's got to be the top of the 3rd, the 4th here. That doesn't count up as 5 here. I'm a little bit lost here, but what I can say here is that this is going to push up. Well, it could push up here a little bit. and then fold back. I mean, the other important level up here is another set of 72s up here, and of course this is the beginning of this here. So the other thing too here is just in terms of personality, you can see there's a nice first wave here, and then a third wave here, and then you can see how this is not trending the same as these guys here, is it? So they're basically losing, it's losing momentum, it's losing steam. So yes, it can go higher, but I don't think it's going to go that far. I think it's going to have some type of correction here. So it'd be nice if it does move up here, then folds back here, then you can look for support here. Okay, so yeah. So basically 1 and 2 and 3 and some sort of 4th and 5th into here, and then back here. Of course you can hold it long, or you may already be long, and if that's the case I could just take this distance here because that's the current truth of it all, and the stop would have to go under this number, under the 61.8%. so the stop would have to go under this little block of volume here if you wanted to survive the ABC correction here and move up from there. So the stop would be under this little block of volume here, so chuck it under here if you wanted to survive all of that and look to add to it and look at it as a buying opportunity. But yeah, all good. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Cheers, thanks for tuning in.